Hi there, I'm Kirsty from Navigating Baby, in case we haven't met before. Today I am getting involved with a mummy tag from Emily Norris, and I've been nominated by Coralie from My Life as a Mum. So I've got some questions to answer. So, first one, what is my favourite mum hack? I think the thing that is really helpful is to get everything ready the night before. So lay out the cereals, put the bowls on the table, get all the book bags and everything sorted out with everything they need, leave it by the front door, shoes at the ready, coats at the ready, so you don't waste any time with repeating, telling them where things are and what have you. I don't always do it, but I should. It really helps. So definitely that one. My most embarrassing mum moment is the next one. I mean, there were so many because I'm a calamity. But I think the really most embarrassing one was when I went out for dinner when one of the children was very small. I can't remember which one it was. And when I got to the restaurant and sat down, one of my friends was like, "What's that? What's on your trousers?" And I looked, and it was poo. Not just a little bit. It was all down my leg. Like, all down my leg. And I mean, what do you do about that? It's out in a restaurant. Poo all down my black jeans. How did I not notice? Anyway, so that's pretty embarrassing. Then, what part of the day do you like the most? I'm going to say on a non-school run day, when we first wake up and the kids will come up, or I'll go into the playroom or something and we'll snuggle up and watch movies and just kind of relax. That's my favourite time of the day. On a school run day, it's probably when we get back from school and we set up doing whatever activity we're going to do or game, whatever game we're going to play when we get back, because everyone's having a bit of fun then. And the worst part of the day is that school run, getting everybody ready and out of the door we aim to leave at 8:30. Yeah, it's a nightmare. I hate that. Then next one, the worst thing that someone said to you when you were pregnant. The worst thing someone said to me when I was pregnant was when I was pregnant with the twins, and when I told them I was having twins, they said, "Oh, twin pregnancies are really like fraught with danger, aren't they? It isn't always successful." I mean, really, who says that? Think it, don't say it. Okay, baby names that I loved but that my partner was having none of. Really, these were just Irish names. I quite fancied giving the children Irish names, and he was having none of it. So he said, I am half Irish, by the way, it's not just a random thing. But he said if he couldn't spell it, it couldn't happen, which is fair enough. So they did get Irish middle names, which he can't spell, but yeah, he wouldn't go for them as first names. The next one then is, do you co-sleep? Not intentionally is the answer to that. So we quite often have a little interloper who comes up into the bed at some point in the night, but we don't intentionally co-sleep. The next question is, name a product you bought for a baby but never used. I mean, I could talk for hours on this. I've bought so much rubbish over the years. But one thing that I really didn't like that I bought was like the nets for when they're first like doing like baby-led weaning. I didn't like that. It was just gross. I think my child maybe used it once. So we did use it once, but no, not for us. The next one, 3 hospital bag items that you must have. The first one is snacks. I mean, I'm never knowingly not thinking about food, and there just isn't enough food when you're in hospital, and it's not very nice. So I'd say snacks, because in the middle of the night when you're feeding that brand new baby, you really want a snack. The next thing would be those great big granny pants. You need those. And then I would do like, if we're thinking about things for you, then I would have some kind of like feminine wipes, let's say, because, it's all a bit grim afterwards, isn't it? And particularly if you end up like I did with an emergency C-section, you're not like trotting around, jumping about, going to the shower and so on for the first little bit. And I think that it's quite nice just to be able to sort of freshen up, because it's so hot in there, in the hospitals, in the wards. So yeah, that's what I'd put in my bag. The next question is, are you a routine mum or a go with the flow? And what does bedtime look like? So I do like a routine, but we're not like rigid with it. Um, it's just kind of like the general idea of about this time we do this, about this time we do that. So at the moment now it's like 5 o'clock is kind of around when I'll start dinner. We'll eat by probably 5:30, 6 o'clock, and then start sort of heading up to bath and everything. Now, bath and bedtime is not my department. My husband does that. So whilst he's doing that, I tidy up downstairs. I'm literally terrible at bedtime, like terrible. So yeah, he gets irritated if I try and help out because I mess it up. So he does that, and everyone has a bath or shower, and then they all settle down and have a story together. And then the boys will go off into their bedroom, and I'll go and read them a story. And then my husband will read the girls their story, and then everyone settles down to sleep, in theory. The next question is about the labours that I had and any pain relief. So the first pregnancy, I had to have an emergency C-section after some kind of 24 odd hours in labour. Yeah, it wasn't a fun time, I'm not going to lie. And I had pretty much every pain care medication going, and ended up with an epidural, obviously, because I was having this emergency C-section. I say, if you want to do it natural, do what you like, but there are no extra medals. If you don't have an epidural, it hurts more, and you genuinely don't get an extra medal. You just get the same baby that you would have got if you'd taken it. Now, I'm not judging either way. You do it the way you want and the way your body tells you. I'm just saying an epidural does help with the pain anyway. I know some people don't believe in it, so totally get that. Then, have you ever been mum shamed? Yes, a woman lots of times actually, but a woman in a soft play said in front of me about my son, don't let your daughter go in there, he's very rough. And she knew he was with me. And actually what he was doing was jumping from something that's set up as a plank. So it's supposed to be like a pirate ship, and there's like a rope thing to hold on to and swing. So that's what he was doing, swinging off the block. So he wasn't being rough at all. But he was 3, he was very tall, yeah, I also had the twins with me, and they were 1 year old. She knew he was mine. She knew, she could see how full my hands were. And when I sort of challenged her about it and said, he's only 3, he's just a 3-year-old boy, she's like, my boy doesn't behave like that. Okay, well, that's because you're a jackass and he's not allowed to play. But anyway, not that I'm still bitter about it or anything, it was only 3 years ago, but she really upset me and she made me cry. So yes, have been mum shamed, and it wasn't fun. Biggest challenges then is the next one. Biggest challenges as a mum. Probably the biggest challenge I faced was when my one of my twins was in the NICU, and I had to then have several operations. That was a really big challenge for us as a family, and for me, sent me down into a little bit of a spiral with anxiety and stuff. So so that was a huge challenge. And then an ongoing parenting challenge for me is disciplining. I'm not very good at it, and I try, but I'm really not very good at it. So sorry, I'm adjusting this all the time because it's a bit low. So yeah, I'm not very good at that, and I would like to be better at it. Then best piece of advice I got was about resting, actually. So I think it's so important for new mums to kind of take a bit of time out and rest. And I'm glad I listened. It was my mother who told me that, and I'm glad I listened. And when my eldest son was born, we had 1 day a week, it was a Monday, where we didn't do anything. We said no to any kind of offers to meet up on that day and arranged them for another day. So it was just, that was stay at home, quiet, chill out, relax time. And I think that's really important because you are recovering from something, something pretty massive for your body. And then the next thing is about something I'd like to pass on to other mums. And I think I would like to pass on not to do every single class that's going. Don't feel like because your NCT buddy is doing Mandarin for babies from the time the child is 2 weeks old, that you have to do it too. Yeah, I did some of these classes, like I didn't do Mandarin, but I did some of these classes, and honestly, the only one that I really think is like super important is swimming. Like, children need to learn to swim. It could save their lives, and yeah, I'm passionate about that. So I completely like would recommend, if you're going to do any class, do swimming, and I think they can learn Mandarin later. Then the final thing is, who is your mum crush? I'm going to say any mum who is getting up every day, looking after her kids, getting them to where they need to be, and not, entirely, just holding everything together. Any mum doing that, you're my mum crush.